I don't know if the system is running or not. I can't tell. It doesn't.
It says on there.
See that?
Ahí abajo dice on there.
Okay. It's not recording, is what it's not doing.
Good morning. It's 9 o'clock, May 24, 2021, and our regular Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our county clerk, Mary Jane Villalobos.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Judge Rathmel,
Present.
Commissioner Mendoza,
President.
Commissioner Elizondo,
President.
Commissioner Solis,
Present.
Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Dr. Roger Miller, Commissioners Court Conference. Dr. Miller, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Bow our heads for you with me. Our Father, we come here this morning asking for your help in one thing. Help us to slow down and breathe. Father, our lives become overwhelmed with the need tos, the have tos, and the want tos. But call us today to yourself so that we may truly see the priorities of our lives. May we see the greatest priority of life is your creation's connection to you, the Creator. So first, Father, we thank you for the blessings we receive from your hand. We thank you for our families, our community, and our freedoms. We thank you that we live in the greatest country in the world, and however easy it is for media pundits to attempt to destroy that, let us seek to see your hand at work in the affairs of this nation. So today we're privileged to experience the blessings of self-government in this community. We thank you for the men and the women which have accepted the responsibility to lead us. We ask today that you especially direct them, our judge and commissioners, our elected and appointed leaders, so that they would discharge their duties for this community in a way that honors you. Grant to each of them health, knowledge, wisdom, and mercy. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Dr. Miller. Communications, Fire Chief Ayala. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Good morning, Chief.
Morning.
I'm gonna take off my mask. I would like to start off with the storm we had on the 11th going on the 12th. There we go. The storm we had on the 11th going on the 12th. We did have that storm on the 11th going on the 12th. There was a lot of homes that were damaged structurally. We don't know the exact number of how many homes, but we were able to help out with the assistance of the Sheriff's Office and the American Red Cross. We were able to help out 9 families that got displaced. Not all 9 got placed in a hotel room, but they were giving the vouchers to have a place to stay for a couple of days. But to my understanding, a couple of the families decided to use the money towards, start fixing their homes, which is also okay. We also did, right the next day, we did a visual assessment alongside with Texas Division of Emergency Management and the National Weather Service Brownsville. To their preliminary reporting, they told us that due to the damages, it wasn't sufficient. It did not meet the threshold to meet public assistance for those affected by the storm. So unfortunately, we're not saying that those houses did not get damaged, because they did, some severely. But in the state's eyes, in order for us to qualify for the public assistance program, there has to meet a threshold in those damages in our county, and we did not meet that threshold, unfortunately.
And it's a significant threshold.
Yes, it is. It's a significant threshold. In other words, there has to be a big number in money and damages for us in order to qualify for the public assistance program. But we did not meet that threshold, unfortunately. At the time of the storm, there were approximately about 1,400 customers without power. Most of them got their power back the next evening. There were still a couple of them that did not. But aside from that, there was, like I mentioned, structural damage, multiple roofs blown, and multiple power lines and poles down. We were out alongside with the Sheriff's Office, Fire Department initially that night, other law enforcement agencies as well. And the following morning, the cleanup with all the crews, the commissioners, but everybody worked very hard together those couple of days. Moving on to COVID, to the COVID report was, all of us know already, the governor issued that order where we lifted all the mandates on the masks on public, county buildings, public health institutes, no longer have to wear a mask, and the county cannot impose or fine, or else we will be fined if we do that. Everything's still in place and hasn't changed for hospitals, state support facilities, and jails and criminal facilities are exempt as of this time. The schools, they will start on the 5th. That's part of the governor's executive order that they will no longer require for masks to be used on campuses from June the 5th on.
I think, it began on the 21st.
Yes.
I did, send a memo out or notify all departments to remove any signage that we may have on county buildings.
Yes.
Requiring that, so I think we'll be taking care of that, so yeah.
And as far as for vaccines, it's slowed down a lot in a good way. That means that most of our citizens here in our county have been vaccinated. We did transfer 80 doses of Moderna, first and second doses, to Zapata County Independent School District last week. For they had a group of about 80 people that needed a second dose, so we transferred 80 doses to them. The fire department will continue to do vaccine at the station. As of this time, we won't be holding drives anymore because due to the numbers of people showing up. So Mary, for this week, she has nothing going on. I already spoke to her this morning. But if you all know of anybody that needs the first or second dose of Moderna, we will be having them at the fire department Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Walk-ins, no registration required. We will be having a second dose drive. It's about 20-some people, Wednesday the 26th. But any other day in between, they can just go until supplies last. We have roughly about 190 vaccines available at this time.
And they're still coming in, are we ordering more vaccines?
No, Judge, we haven't ordered right now any. They did do a lot of changes, DCHS, on the ordering allocation system. Before, there was always a minimum, like for Pfizer, it's 1,000, for Moderna, it was 100. But now, they changed all that. They changed, also there was a deadline of when you would place the order for the week. Deadlines were Thursday by 5 p.m. But now, there is no deadlines. You can order today and you'll get some tomorrow. You can order batches as small as 10 doses.
Okay. All
All that changed. So we haven't ordered at this time because we still have 190. We don't wanna order because they expire within 30 days of arrival, so we don't wanna.
Well, I'm glad, so they're readily available.
Readily available. In other words, if we don't order and we get a group of 5 people come to the department, let's say today, we'll put the order today and we'll get them by tomorrow or the following day.
I was reviewing the state dashboard, we have fallen behind, especially in our neighboring counties.
Yes.
Our percentages of vaccinated, we have been doing very well, but now it's slowed down considerably.
It did just, I'm sorry, and yes, we might be falling behind, but that's not on our behalf. We've been doing everything we can.
Sure, there's just a reluctance from the public
Exactly.
now to the remaining
Yes.
population that come, and that's understandable because, I mean, we haven't had any cases, I think there may be one active case.
One active case, yes, sir.
People, I think they get maybe a false sense of condition that things have gone a lot better than they have, but I think, we still need to be careful. So I think everyone has to make their decision on their own, whether they want to be vaccinated or not, but, comparing us to our neighboring counties, we have fallen behind,
Yes.
percentage-wise, from our neighbors.
We have, and we do encourage those people that have not been vaccinated now that the masks has been lifted. So those that have not been vaccinated, we do encourage them highly to get the vaccine now that it's available. Also, we are still testing this week. We have testing again for Wednesday and Thursday at the pavilion, the 26th and the 27th. That's what we got for this week. And the school district got together, we were in talks of trying to figure out the vaccine for their 12 to 15 year age group. And they got together with DSHS and they will begin vaccinating with the Pfizer vaccine for that age group, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, the 25th. All I know is that they're doing just tomorrow, one drive, because they have roughly from 400 to 500 students. But they had done a survey to see who wanted the vaccine. The parents have to sign off for the students, and they weren't getting a good amount of people signing up. But this was 2 weeks ago. Hopefully the numbers went up. But they will get taken care of by DSHS. And if there are other students that need it after that day, we will set something up for them so they can get vaccinated.
Chief, has there been any talks, for your context about it eventually becoming mandatory for kids to attend public school? Has that been mentioned out at this point?
Not that I know of.
Have you heard anything? I know that, I know Pfizer had submitted to the FDA approval for children younger than 12 years old. Has there been a timeline for that, or?
There hasn't either. All I can say is that when they submitted for the 12 to 15, ESHS advised us about it, that it was coming around, so we needed to start making preparations for that age group. When they initially announced it, it took roughly, I would say, maybe 2 to 3 months for it to get approved in order for us to use it. So they worked fairly quick on it. So I cannot give you an exact timeline. They have not given an exact timeline as well. But I know that I can, more than likely, it will come out before the school year. But that's my guess.
Right.
But they do work fast on it, so, but they haven't issued out a timeline yet.
Chief, and on the children, is it the dose, is it a smaller dose that they're getting or the same as an adult?
No, Commissioner, it's the exact same vaccine. It's the exact same vaccine, so,
vaccine.
so that they
They were
do.
just working on it to make
Yes,
sure that the
and
kids.
making sure that it's safe for that age group to take it. For example, if tomorrow's drive, you go there, you can get vaccinated yourself. It's not a different vaccine, it'll be the same one. Yeah, for the first and second dose. They changed the approvals to age group. But that's all I got for you guys for today. Do y'all have any questions?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Other communications, Commissioner? I know, well, we received, I think, some good news from one of our consultants. We have, I guess, been applying for a grant for a significant amount of time now, as we try to see how we can continue to keep our golf course open over the years. And the county did apply with the help of our consultant, Carlos Colina Vargas, for a Texas Parks and Wildlife grant of $750,000. I guess it's been over a year since this grant was submitted. We did receive news from our consultant that Texas Parks and Wildlife has recommended funding for this application. And the award will be this coming week on Thursday. I think the commissioners are invited to attend the commission meeting, and hopefully we can together. We also applied for a $150,000 grant for the Miraflores Park. I think we were donated a tract of land a few years ago on Miraflores, and I think that park will also enhance that area. So that grant was $150,000, and that has also been recommended for approval from Texas Parks and Wildlife. The $750,000 grant was one for the non-urban outdoor sporting from Texas Parks and Wildlife. There were 18, seems like there was 18 entities that were recommended for award, and Zapata on the rank of scoring, we came in at 11, so I think we have a pretty good chance of receiving that award.
So it's still not for sure yet, Judge?
It's a recommendation.
It's a
The commission
recommendation.
has the final word on Thursday, so I think it's important that we be there to show that we really want this grant, so it's important that we attend that meeting. And then, the other one was for the small community park grant, and there was 12 applications that were recommended for award, and Zapata County's Miraflores Neighborhood Park came in at 9. So I think we're in good shape. I think it's all good news for our community to see how we can continue to enhance our community. So I think all of us are planning on going, I believe, and show up in force, and hopefully we can get those awards. Also on spreading the good news, Congressman Cuellar was here 2 weeks ago to award the Gateway Clinic $7 million for their operations of their 3 clinics in Laredo, Zapata, and Hebbronville. This will enhance their operation here in Zapata, be able to hire more staff, offer more medical care to our community. And also, he was there and he announced that for a good while, I know Chief Arriaga and the previous Chief Mesa, we've always wanted to upgrade and possibly improve our fire station, build a new state-of-the-art fire station. Congressman announced that he will, in the appropriations, will be asking for $1.5 million for Zapata County, for a new, fire station and an emergency operations center. And so, because of the rules that, Congress has changed, I think earmarks are now possible, and so I think there's a good likelihood, that those monies will be coming to Zapata, and we'll be able to house a new state-of-the-art fire station, soon, for our community. He also mentioned that, his goal, and he's been in office for many years now, has always been to, enhance Highway 83, build a divided highway between, from county line to county line, from Stark County to Webb County. He's asked for an additional $5 million, for TxDOT, to, accelerate, those additions, to the highway and do those extensions on a expedited basis. So hopefully, those things will be realized too. So those are all good things that are happening, in our community, and we hope that, we'll continue to push for those monies to come our way. Any other communications, commissioners? I did, our veteran service officer last week informed me, Mr. Adolfo Gonzalez, that, he has, purchased 400 flags, for Memorial Day, which is, fastly, approaching. The GAR or OTC will be helping him, place those flags on all the veterans. He did request that, commissioners, that on any of the other cemeteries that you may be aware of, that there are veterans there, that he would like your input, and certainly he's available for you all to request, and he'll certainly, place those flags on our heroes there on Memorial Day. Is there anything else? Let's see, I'm trying to, I think that's all I've got written down. Any other communication? If not, we'll move on to public comments. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioners Court on any items on the agenda. To the public. Now we'll move on to item number 6, approval of invoices. And in your packets, we have invoices from May the 7th, 2021 through May the 20th, 2021 for a total of $444,937.84. Motion by Commissioner Motion by Commissioner Garza, second by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. We have checks. Item number 7, approval of checks issued. We have checks from 5/7/2021 to 5/2021 for a total of $444,937.84. Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 8 is the Boys and Girls Club report. Good morning, ladies. We've kept you on the agenda all these months, I know.
I know, we've been really busy. But it's good to see y'all again.
Yes.
Honestly, that's awesome, good. I'll just wait for this one.
Good morning.
So, yeah, guys, long time to see you, great to see everybody again. Right now, our club, we've been working since October. We did have to cut down on staff due to our numbers going a little down on kids. But when we came back, we did have 3 of our amazing staff. Miss Leslie Arriaga, we brought her from San Ignacio, and Miss Andrea Montes. Danny Perez, his last day was on Friday, but I just wanted to recognize him because he was a club kid. He started off as a club kid. He volunteered about 4 to 5 years, showed us his compassion, his commitment, and we made him into a staff. And sadly, but happy that he is going to go on to his new adventure in San Antonio. So we're really happy that he was able to grow with us, and we were able to see him achieve his goals to move out of here. So it's pretty cool to see that. And of course, our USDA program, Ms. Mona is the one that's in charge of all the little tedious paperwork. And as well, we have 2 cooks, Ms. Miss Diaz and Miss Diaz. They're an amazing pair of women. I'm very, very happy, and Ms. Myra as well. We have been giving meals out before, when we had to close during COVID time. We were able to give meals from that time till now. We're really happy, and we have been recognized for it. So, I mean, I just wanna recognize the
The
USDA
program never
staff.
stopped, yes.
Yeah, we've been giving meals to not only our youth in the club, but as well as outside youth. So we were able to give out those meals, and not only in Zapata, but in San Ignacio as well. So we're really happy that we were able to do this, especially during, the COVID pandemic time. And of course, there's some pictures here. I wish I could show you more. If you wanna follow on our Facebook, all the pictures of the kids doing activities and events. Now, it was hard for us in the beginning. I like going all out for our kids, but I know we had to take precautions and we had to take our protocols. So what we did was we did in-house or we gave out to the community. So that was a really, really awesome thing to do. And as well, we had a lot of help from a lot of sponsors and donations during those times. So it was really, really happy. I was really happy to see our community get in tune with us to give back to our kids. As you can see, we had an Easter event. They do arts and crafts. We just try to keep the kids, because especially right now that they had been going through so much emotionally or just being at home, we were able to give back and give those smiles to those kids. And like I said, follow us on Facebook. You'll see all those pictures. Even though they have a mask on, you can see their eyes where they are smiling and they're having a great time. For our attendance, of course, it did go down drastically. We were at 1788 per day, but we are hoping during summer we did move up, because we did cap it. For our safety, because we were taking protocol, we did cap it at the time to 35 kids. This summer, we're going up to 40 kids. We did get a lot of parents asking, we wanted to have more kids, but I think we're waiting till fall, to get back to our hopefully 90 kids or to 100 kids in the fall, depending on how the school does and depending how the feedback we get from the parents on registrations. And our backpack program, we're still running it the same way. I really like this program as well, because not only do we give meals, but we give kids snack bags for the weekend so the kids can have snacks. And like I said, not only it's about that, we also give to San Ignacio as well.
And of course, this is through the partnership with the South Texas.
Yeah, this is partnership through the South Texas Food Bank, so they deliver that to us and they give that, we make the bags and we distribute. And of course, we just want to let everybody know we are having a car raffle. The reason for this raffle is because our skeet shoot, we had to postpone. So, with the help of Mr. Mendoza, Commissioner Mendoza, we were able to get, with, various help and donations, so we were able to get this car to raffle. So if anyone is interested in getting tickets or getting tickets, you can contact us and we're able to help you all out.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. If you have any questions, concerns?
How about, I'm sorry, the Boys and Girls Club in San Ignacio, is there any time soon that you guys are planning on?
Okay,
or
the
not?
club in San Ignacio, between Ms. Mona, Mr. Commissioner Mendoza, we have to close down our facility there, but we are gonna relocate to the school like we did in the past. I met there with Dr. Brandon, either this week, if not during the summertime, to see when we can start operations. I know Dr. Brandon did mention she was really, interested in doing it. I just need to see how many kids we're gonna have, one, and two, because if we exceed more than 20, then I have to see about getting another staff to help us, Leslie over there. But I know during school time, we'll be operating. During the summer, I think we're gonna, because of the school being shut down during summer, the club will be shut down.
The reason I'm asking is because of the building that you guys were using, if you're not gonna be using it anymore.
Yeah, no, I believe not, we're not gonna, the only thing is, I know we have a few things in there that we have to take out, but, as.
Yeah, there's no rush, I was just,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
no.
keeping up with, mowing it and,
Yeah, no, I know that we've discussed it and we said we're
Yeah,
gonna do that transition.
the overhead costs, Commissioner, were a little high for the number of kids we were having there, so we had to make the hard decision of closing down the facility. And of course, in years prior, we had always had a good partnership with the school district where we would be housed at the school gym.
Yeah.
Their policies changed, so we had to move out of the gym, but, in conversations with Mr. Gonzalez, the superintendent, and Raji, Gonzalez, we were able to renegotiate that agreement. So we are scheduled to restart that partnership for the
I mean,
new
I've
school
never
year.
actually been inside that building, I don't know how it looks like inside, but I'm just thinking maybe for the future, renting it out like for bingos
Oh,
or something
yeah, no,
smaller,
it's
so
still
right,
in
Judge?
good-
I mean,
it's
that's
still in
fine.
good condition inside.
Okay.
We
but I
did some
never-
repairs to it, we,
Yeah.
we did
I know
some
that the
rooms.
outside, the roof outside is actually coming down.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that one
Pretty
you have
bad.
to.
So that's why I don't know how it looks inside, but outside, it
No,
does, it's
but
pretty bad.
from the last time that we've gone, the inside still looks the same, it's no damage on
It would be fixed up, I think.
Mhm.
It's not very much, you know.
Mona, do you wanna cover the program real quick before you conclude?
Yeah, our meal program has been steady. We have noticed a trend, during days when there is school, we have had a little bit less attendance for our meal program, from the participants in the community. We have noticed it does spike when they have off from school. So, we hope to continue during the summer. We've been serving roughly 80 meals a day, including San Ignacio. We do home delivery for San Ignacio. So we are holding steady at 80 meals a day, when we're hoping to, increase that for the summer months. Last summer, we did do, I think it was 165 a day.
Yeah.
So, we're looking forward to that for the summer. We did get a few grants, I did want to mention, because, we had a few, an anonymous donor actually provide grant funding for our food program. With that funding, we were able to update our kitchen, which was really nice. We got some new equipment, some new freezers, some new refrigerators, and it's gonna help us expand also for the summer.
Very good, that's a good, we thank the anonymous donor.
Yes, Ms. Vela is, extremely good, submitting monthly reports with updates.
That anonymous donor, Judge, is not local.
Yeah.
They donated directly to BGCA corporate, and then they routed the monies to us, so.
Very good, well, we'll take it.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you, ladies, we
Yes,
appreciate your
thank you.
efforts.
We move on to the action items, Commissioner, we will deliberate, consider action on item number 9, is to approve the interlocal cooperative agreement between Webb County and Zapata County for autopsy services. And that they've included the contract, Commissioners, I guess we can approve it pending review by our county attorney.
Motion to approve, with pending, legal review, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Garza. The rates did go up a little bit. We were at $1,500 per autopsy, now it's $1,700. So we got a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 10 is to approve the hiring of Omar Garcia as CAD technician, slot 18, at $14.62 an hour, effective May 17, 2021.
Mr. Trevino, is this the new position we have created?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, it is.
And this individual is qualified for this, to take on this,
Yes, sir, he was.
this officer?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, Judge, that we
Second.
approve.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 11 is to approve a 36-month contract with UniFirst for wastewater uniform services. I guess we have,
So,
who's our current provider, or we don't?
We don't have one, we were with, Bright Star out of Alice, but they are no longer servicing this area, so.
what is your recommendation? I know there's a slight difference, but nothing that'll break the bank. What is your recommendation on the two companies that submitted?
UniFirst is by far,
Judge, I'll make a motion that we,
Okay.
approve contract with UniFirst for the uniform.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve UniFirst, I guess, and this is 80.66 per
86.
per uniform? Or
This is per week for the.
for the whole staff?
For the-
This includes, protection, so only, if their garments rip or they tear or something happens, so they get acid on this and that, they'll do the repairs and replace the.
Okay, very good. So, got a motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Judge, and that is equal to $322.64 a month.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 12 is to allow the fire department to temporarily employ reserve EMTs, firefighters, paramedics to work on an as-needed basis. These employees to be paid from line item 10-543-106, overtime line item. Chief Arriaga, yes, the chief, unfortunately, we've been losing some of our personnel, to other area departments, and, we're struggling to keep, the whole shift fully staffed, and, so Danny, spoke to me and said, how can we, make to where we can maybe bring in some contractors from, on an as-needed basis, and he says other communities are doing this, so go ahead, Danny, kind of inform the court on what's
Yes.
happening with your department.
Yeah, I spoke to the judge, and I ran it by Ms. Trevino as well to see if this was possible. I know that Webb County does it, I used to work with Webb County many years ago, and they had something called the pool. The pool is basically a list of people that are certified firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, and, they do not work directly, well, they are employees of the county. They do still do the drug testing, they're under the insurance and everything, well, workman's comp, not the medical insurance, but they're only called on a as-needed basis. So basically, when they're short-staffed, last minute, people that take the day off or are sick, they go to that list and they just go down the list calling up people. Those people have their jobs permanently, full-time elsewhere. It's just that they use their certifications to work, basically, it's not even considered part-time, it's only as-needed basis.
As needed, Mr. Salinas, we are set up to take on these, types of employees.
I need to look into it and report back to the court. I haven't spoken to Mr. Arriaga, but I can certainly get with him after the meeting.
I think that you're basically be contractors.
Yeah,
Yes.
contract labor.
Yeah, those that we have right now currently on that list, they have already submitted application, because those are the ones that helped us out during COVID when it wiped out one of our crews, when we had 9 positives. So we had hired those people, like emergency hire, and then their job was done whenever we got all the crew back. So they're still in, I guess, the system of the county.
Mr.
Judge,
Miller, question
these
would be on
employees are considered to be temporary employees, so basically how we pay them is through overtime, because usually there is some monies left over at the end
That
of
was
the year.
my question.
So
Is there
it's not
monies
considered
left over
contract.
from that
It wouldn't
overtime
be
line
considered.
item?
Yes,
Because that money has been set aside to pay, the present firefighters.
Yes.
So,
There would be, Roman, because
We're
staff
short.
is short on staff.
We're short,
So-
I had checked, I went back like 3 years, when Mesa was still a chief, and normally, it wasn't always the same, but typically every year, there was always $10,000, $15,000, $18,000 left in that account, so that's what,
so we don't carry balances over from prior years that.
No, I know it doesn't roll over.
But we can look into it, I don't have a problem with it, it's just that if you're short-staffed, we could probably transfer funds from that line item of the employee that has not been filled yet, utilize some of those funds also.
So, and these
And
employees,
that's perfectly, we can do that too. I tell Danny and the fire chief, do whatever you can to make sure your crews are staffed, so if you wanna bring in contractors that are certified, I think we.
are they paid at the overtime rate, or they're
No,
paid at regular?
the regular rate, but my idea was to pay them through the overtime line, item, but not overtime, it's just
Judge, I'll
regular.
make a motion to
Except, they're not considered contract, Judge, they're considered temporary,
Part-time.
yeah.
Okay.
Because they still get paid workman's comp and taxes are removed, so they're not
Okay.
contract, just wanna make that distinction, they're considered
I'm gonna
temporary.
motion to.
Motion by
approve as
Commissioner
needed.
Mendoza, second by Commissioner Solis, and, I guess in discussion, we'll just have to look, Danny, see how we can become more competitive.
Yes.
It's a very competitive field, and, there's a lot of demand, for these individuals. I know we've tried to recruit individuals from here, from town, maybe train them, set up some training programs, to where we can keep young men and women here in our community with, doing those jobs, but, we'll have to look and see what the other, communities are paying and how we can become, more competitive. That's all we have. We have the fire department, we need to make sure, we have it fully staffed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got a motion second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item, number 13 is to accept resignations from Ramiro Garcilaso III, effective May 12, 2021.
Approve, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14 is to transfer lease locus, general order 543, slot number 7, to slot number 16 at $10.88 an hour, effective 5/24/21. Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Chief.
Item number 15 is to approve the Zapata County Airport Operators Liability Insurance for fiscal year 2021, 2022. Ms. Manning, Trevino.
It was good news, Nelly, was there a decrease in the premium or?
It's about the same, it went up a little bit slightly, but not too much. This one, I'm not too familiar with it, Charlie was the one who would take care of it, unfortunately, it was just dropped off at my office. I've been in speaking to, the, insurance agent, his name is Conrad Gleason, and trying to get more information on how to do this renewal.
Is this through TAC or?
No, this is through Falcon Insurance Agency. He would always do this, insurance, he would take it,
Is it something that TAC offered, that we can get a better rate from?
I
or?
know this is just like a supplement insurance, I know we do have it insured with tax.
Okay.
I don't know why he's
I
always
think it's-
I
carrying
know
it.
it's
Basically,
special
it's an
insurance
insurance,
that we
yeah.
have to get, it's I can't remember, it's been a number of years that we looked into this, and it carries a big, liability, insurance for us, cause it's the airport. But I can certainly, I just can't recall it, but I know that we had looked
We've
into
had
this.
it for
Right.
many years.
What's the amount of the policy?
The amount of the policy will total $3,245.
And it is something that is needed or?
We've always carried this policy.
Motion moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to approve the liability insurance, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Yeah, our airport director, Mr. Charlie, been with us for many years. He's a little bit under the weather, so, we'll hopefully he'll get better and,
I'll
we'll
get more
visit with
information
him.
before we send out the renewal.
Yeah. Item number 16 is to approve the Zapata County liability renewal to staff risk management pool for fiscal year 2021, 2022, which covers the general liability, public official liability, auto physical damage, auto liability, and law enforcement liability insurance.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. So how much was the increase?
This one, I don't have the rate increase yet, it's just to submit for the renewal questionnaire. After it gets reviewed, we do get it,
Yeah,
So we'll come back and approve the amount.
yes.
Okay, so, we got a motion second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 17 is to update Zapata County policy regarding the implementation of clearinghouse by the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, as recommended by the Texas Association of Counties.
Judge, Commissioners, I left a, packet for you, information to review. I did send it to our county attorney for his review, and he has gone ahead and approved,
Is it, which one is it this?
yes,
CDL drug and alcohol.
the CDL drug and alcohol.
Okay.
What it is that they're requiring us to be enrolled with this clearinghouse, which means that all our CDL drivers have to be cleared through, their website. So basically, we have access to, any drug
So it's a
violations.
recommendation by CAC for us to do this?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, it's been in place since last year.
And then what's the
Since
cost
then.
associated with this recommendation?
And I know if there is no cost, we just have to make sure that our CDL drivers
We're in compliance
in
with it.
compliance.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
It's another blanket of protection for us for our CDL.
For our CDL drivers.
Another mandate.
Another unfunded mandate.
To approve the purchase of new commercial doors at the Zapata County Nutrition Center in the amount of $3,950.
Motion to approve this.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Garza. So we're getting rid of those solid steel doors?
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez came to me and requested to see if we could get, an estimate for the replacement of those doors. The latches have been broken for several years.
Yes,
and
certainly,
they would
they're
put
not
like a
very
steel rod.
sightly, they're not nice to look at either, you can't even see in or out.
So,
Right.
so this is the quote that.
So these will be glass doors?
They're gonna be the steel commercial doors. For, these are the back door and.
Hopefully for the back entrance.
Yes, for the back.
Okay.
And I guess we'll be pulling this out of non-department for building repairs and maintenance, or?
Yeah, we're way over on that, so hopefully we'll get, some money from the federal government to pay for all this. I think they should be on the way, and hopefully we'll get the rescue plan, American Rescue Plan, okay? So we got a motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 19 is to approve a refund of $1,841.17 to Rene Garcilaso for the purchase of technology equipment for the Justice of the Peace Precinct 4.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Garcilaso, and this is something that was bought, and, we didn't have any money, they didn't have any money in their fund anymore, so I suggested to him to take it out of technology fund. So he's requesting it from the technology fund.
Okay, but we're reimbursing him?
Yes, cause he bought it, and, I guess Gigi was supposed to,
So you bought it from his personal?
From-
No, for precinct four, for precinct four.
His department?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what?
Not for his department, for the Justice of the Peace.
Because the
Precinct
PO,
four.
But
the
it
purchase
says to
order,
refund him.
yeah, the purchase order is payable to him.
Yes, cause he paid for it, cause he used his credit card, to
Okay,
purchase it.
that's what I was asking.
Yes,
you,
yes,
for the
I'm
personal
sorry,
money.
yes.
Okay.
Motion move.
Motion by Commissioner Gatsa, second by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 20 is to discuss and take possible action regarding damages to vehicles.
Judge, this item will be heard in executive session.
Item number 21 is to review and approve the Venue Estate Street Plat into lots 7A and 8A. Morning, Mr. Gonzalez.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Judge and Commissioners, on this particular item, it's, lot 7A, it's lot 7, 8, and 9 on, Belenio Estates, which is, Falcon Shores Drive, it's the last street on Belenio Estates. The two gentlemen that own lot 7, 8, and 9 are brothers. They want to split it into 7 and 9, or like into 2 lots, 3 lots into 2. So essentially, we're making the lots bigger. And there are already utilities available, it's already platted subdivision, so we're just replatting it to configure the lots into 2 bigger lots instead of 3 smaller ones.
Yes,
And,
and that area is beginning to populate pretty rapidly.
Yes.
Those laws are setting pretty quickly, and Mr. Gonzalez did visit with me, Judge, so I am recommending approval for this item.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 22 is to review and approve plat of parcel Z 293-B, tract 3 into lots 3A and 3B.
Judge and Commissioners, on that particular item, I'm gonna request if we can, not take action on it. I'm gonna not, move forward with that
Okay,
particular.
we'll
plat.
bring that back. No action on
No action.
22. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Are you gonna be bringing that back at some time?
No.
Judge, I think it would be appropriate that we deny it.
Well, he requested no
Okay,
action.
so no action.
Yeah, no action, it
Okay.
just won't be,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be tabled, it's
Right.
no action.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not gonna do it,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah. Item, consent items, number 23, line item transfers, and 24.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll move on to resolutions and proclamations. Number 25 is a resolution in support of Puerto Region Behavioral Health Center.
Motion to approve. Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 26 is a resolution supporting Zapata County's application to the Texas Department of Transportation 2021 Transportation Alternative Set Aside, TA, call for project. Mr. Sammy Guerra, Agro-Life Extension.
Motion to approve. Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, second by Commissioner Garza. Sammy, what you got for us? I know we visited with you, this past week.
Yes, sir. I mean, I was gonna read the resolution and you guys.
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
yes, please.
So the resolution for supporting Zapata County's application to the Texas Department of Transportation, 2021 Transportation Alternatives, call for project is whereas the Texas Department of Transportation has issued a call for projects in January 2021 for communities to apply for funding assistance through the Transportation Alternatives Set Aside Program, whereas the TA funds may be used for development of preliminary engineering, plan specifications, estimates, and environmental documentation, and construction of pedestrian and/or bicycle infrastructure. The TA funds require a local match comprised of cash or transportation development credits. If eligible, Zapata County would be responsible for all non-reimbursable costs at 100% of overruns, if any, for TA funds, and now therefore be resolved by the Zapata County Commissioners Court of Zapata County that Zapata County supports funding this project as described in the 2021 TA detailed application, including the preliminary engineering budget, if any, construction budget, the department's 50% direct state cost for oversight, and the required local match, if any, and is willing to commit to the project development, implementation, construction, maintenance, management, and financing. Zapata County is willing to be able to enter into an agreement with the department by resolution or ordinance should the project be selected for funding.
Very good. Sammy, I think maybe you can tell the court what your plans are, what your mission or your goals are for this project.
Yeah, just like I have presented back in late March, I think, it's an application for, creating bike lanes and sidewalks here in the community. It was a proposal for 2 main streets, here in Zapata, which is gonna be Glen Street and Miraflores, and I think it's 20th Avenue, the one that connects with Miraflores. Basically, the project entails to connect schools and parks to the neighborhoods, and so that we could have alternative transportation for kids and for them to be able to have access to schools and the parks here in the community. So it's still in the step 2 of the process. We won't be able to know if we're gonna be approved till October. But we do need to have a resolution in place, just in case, you know.
I appreciate your work on this. I think it'd be a significant improvement to our community. We can, especially, we had talked about, Florida Street, maybe getting some sidewalks there.
Yeah.
So this would take care of that and then be able to connect, with, precinct 4 or the baseball field there and then coming down on Glen, I mean, I think that's, or even if you go back on 16, it would connect 16 also,
Exactly.
which, I guess people who exercise and people who walk already use. So all of that would be interconnected, so I appreciate your efforts.
I know that Ms. Elizondo, she received that grant for that park.
And we'll connect that part too.
That kind of just goes with everything, and I mean, I think the ultimate goal at the end, is to connect all neighborhoods, to these parks and schools that we have here, but it baby steps and, maybe we could get there sometime in the future.
I mean, if you need any pictures for your grant, because I do take pictures every time it rains on Miraflores, how bad it gets when the kids are walking to school, maybe that'll help.
Yes, I am gonna need to be, to take some of those pictures to look at some of the issues or barriers or restraints that are out there in those 2 streets, so that we could be able to, put in a detailed application or estimate of what's gonna be needed to make those adjustments or fix those issues that are gonna.
Very good.
So.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rivera.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, Commissioner, we got one item for executive session, and this is to discuss and take possible action regarding damages to vehicles. I need a motion to.
Motion to go to executive session.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza, and we are gonna enter into executive session under Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. We are now in executive session. Eddie, why is this an executive session?
The, microphone is still on.
Yeah. Hold on.
return to regular session, seconded by Commissioner Garza. For the record, no action was taken in executive session. Are we on, Mary Jane?
Yeah.
All right.
Who make,
item number
who make the
20 is
motion, Judge? Solis Garza, okay.
To discuss and take possible action regarding damage to vehicle. I see, ma'am, you wanna approach the court? Good morning, Maxine.
Good morning, how are you?
Yes, morning.
Yes, well, I came just because I had some damages done, and I know you all discussed it in closed session, and,
Well, we're giving you the opportunity to state your, you know, what happened to your vehicle. and-
Well, the vehicle, I was driving home, and there was a pothole covered with dirt, with mud and water.
Okay,
And I did make a police report, I did give the information to Mr. Trevino, because that day on Saturday, I did reach out, I did call Mr. Garza, and that conversation wasn't nice. His response that I got, he is still in court, he's still a commissioner, and he's still seated there getting a paycheck, and I had no help from him whatsoever.
okay.
So then Monday morning, I reached out to Mr. Trevino. He told me that he would try to, go through an insurance and submitted a quote that I did give him about the damages and to see what will be resolved with this issue. Due to the fact that it wasn't marked off, it wasn't, marked off like at a construction site, that something was wrong, there was a pothole, and it was severe. I do have pictures, I did
Can
not.
I see the pictures? And, Mr. Vina, so your crew did some work on that street?
Yeah, they had done work there, so I made some calls, it had been about a month ago, that they had fixed, a leak there.
Okay, and it wasn't marked off, I mean, with a roped off or?
Well, when they finished the leak, they covered it with dirt, and then after that, they covered it with asphalt.
So they did cover it?
They did cover it up, so I did ask, two of the four, and they did say.
And how deep was that hole?
Let me show you, the deputy.
So was it still leaking, or was it after a rain, or?
It was deep. And you
Yeah.
couldn't see, it's not visible because the reason being it was full of water and
And
mud.
mud, yeah.
So when I hit it, I mean, my tire, I'll show you the damages to the rim and
So
tire.
the asphalt was washed out, Mr. Trevino?
Yeah.
Was it due to the leak continuing or because of rainfall?
That I do not know, but I know that, after the police incident and everything happened, we went, we put a cone.
So it
That's when they
completely
saw
punctured
that
your
there
tire.
was
And
more
the
water.
And the rain.
The hole, so we did
And-
go and repair.
And
we
did it
opened
do
up the
anything
next
else to
day,
your
the following day.
suspension, or?
I haven't checked it, I haven't
And,
taken
repaired
to
it.
the.
So it's basically right now it's the tire and the rim. And how much is your claim?
The rim, I have the.
So
and I
it's the
can-
tire and the rim, Commissioners?
I can show it if you
Okay.
want. That afternoon, that same afternoon, I called Mingo. He sent out a crew to put a orange tumbler, and he did do that. And come Monday morning, I guess Mr. Garza sent out all the crew and everybody was repairing it.
So the rim is $987?
Yes.
And the tire is $336?
Yes, the tire is the tire balancing and alignment, since it'll be a new rim.
Yeah.
It is a 2021, I mean, I do have 2,000 miles on it, I want it to
Really?
die. Yes.
So you said you still had a water leak going on there?
There was a leak when I called Mingo, because he called me and said, hey, somebody drove in and, the tire popped and stuff. I said, well, who's the operator on duty? So I said, tell them go put a barrel or go and barricade it, you know, we'll see what's going on. So they went and they did, and then that's when they said, hey, well, there's water in this hole, so there's a slight leak. So we did send the guys the following day. I don't know, what day was this?
So
Monday
y'all,
morning.
so your department, your guys went out there and did check, and then you all put some,
We did, but I mean, we don't go after every leak to go see.
It was, he's saying it was covered with dirt and then cold mix
but then it
asphalt.
leaked again.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if it leaked again or if it was
No,
rainfall.
he said.
No, it was leaking again.
It was leaking again.
It was
Well,
leaking again.
Yes, it was
So-
leaking again.
so it's-
When they went to go put the
That's
cones,
making it-
they saw that it had, if you saw the picture, there was a little bit of water, which indicates that there's a slight water seepage coming in through. So when they went, it was one of the clamps that had been put there about a month ago, that it had shifted. so they had to remove it and replace it with.
Normally, Maxine, the county, we don't accept, there are road hazards throughout the county. I mean, in this instance, I'm a little bit, thinking that, maybe we do, have some sort, because we did have a leak on there, you fixed it, but then the leak
You come back.
continued. There was no signage, nothing to block, to make, motorists aware that of the possible danger there.
Well, when it was, fixed the first time, about a month ago, they put dirt and then they put coal mix on top of it, so it was already, they had put, asphalt on it. And that was done, said, we move on to the next leak, we didn't.
It didn't leak right away, obviously.
Okay, so you didn't, there were no need for a barricade then?
Yeah, no, sir, no, there was no need for.
But I guess it was still leaking slowly, so that's what I guess it just, what's the word? It
Caved in.
because
This
it
must
was
have happened
slowly.
slowly because of the water, I guess if the water was leaking, because there was water in the hole, I guess slowly and surely as.
And you did, file an incident report, so there is a report from the deputy that is where you damaged your vehicle? Commissioner, usually I am the first one to say we're not responsible on this. I think given the circumstances, I move that we.
I make a motion to.
Motion, by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll get you the $1,000, payment on the rim and the wheel. That's it.
It's, I think it'll total to
1323. Okay. Okay.
I appreciate it, and I thank you.
All right.
I just want to state that, whenever, that we do the repairs, we don't need the whole, something like that. If we do coat them off and we do put, caution tape to the.
Yeah, I know it's difficult for you guys to be going back and forth. Maybe y'all need to check on, maybe a few days later on those leaks, make sure they're not continuing to leak, and then, of course, the ground will subside and create hazards. Okay.
And I wanna thank you, and I wanna thank Mr. Trevino, because he did help me, and just, I wanna recognize it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Garza. We are now adjourned.
Congratulations. I agree.